there's an inquiry about wrathful deities, semi-wrathful, semi-peaceful and wrathful deities, and what are the crescent-shaped structures around the shoulders or the head of wrathful deities. Namely, we're looking at three prominent deities, Chakrasambhara, and then two forms of Mahakala, Panjanata and Shadbhuja. So what are these crescent shapes that appear unrelated to the imagery? Well, this is really, it sounds like it should be an iconographic question, but it's not. It's an art history question, because these crescent shapes are in fact the loop of the scarf going around the neck of the deity, and the tails, the ends of the scarves flow downward and to the sides of the deity, ending in a little bit of a flourish as if there were some wind. Now, the problem arises when looking at some of these images, primarily painting. It's a little bit more obvious with sculpture, but with painting is the upper portions of these scarves, these crescent loops or crescent shapes, are often designed and ornamented in a completely different way than the lower part of the scarf. So unless you're looking very carefully and looking at many examples, you wouldn't necessarily understand that that's all one continuous scarf in the painting. So then the question arises, well, what is this scarf? Is this found in the text? Well, no, for the most part, it's not. There are a few wrathful deities that have scarves, such as in Nilambara, Vajrapani. There's also, Black Cloak, Bernakchen, Mahakala. There are deities that are known for their garments and are actually named after the garments they wear. But what we're talking about with these crescent-shaped scarves on either side of the head and shoulders of these deities, this is really an artistic construct. It's really, we don't find them much before the 14th century, and then they really dominate from the 17th century up until modern times. And they are not textually found. They are not part of the iconography of these figures. They're not found in the Sanskrit. They're not in the Tibetan descriptions of the liturgies describing briefly or in detail the appearances of the various figures. So how did they get there? Well, most likely it's the artist. The artist placed them there so that they can frame the head and the upper torso of the deity to contrast the figure from all of the background figures or background landscape of the composition. So really these scarves are a fairly modern construct in Himalayan and Tibetan art.